The race for the non-fungible token space is heating up as celebrities like Snoop Dogg and Reese Witherspoon join. Witherspoon revealed her first purchase last month, and Snoop Dogg is joining forces with the Harlem Globetrotters to release an NFT. And in a space that's been seen as an all-boys club, some women have assembled collections that's already made waves and brought more diverse and female representation to the NFT space. So I want to welcome Lisa Mayer, founder of My Social Canvas and Boss Beauties, coming to us live from New York City, and Cynthia Gentry, one of the founding members of Boss Beauties, who's currently in San Antonio, Texas. Welcome, ladies.
Hi. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to chat with you today.
Absolutely. I'm excited to chat with you too. So let's jump right into it. Lisa, I'll start with you. For 10 years, My Social Canvas has sought to educate and empower the next generation of women and girls through scholarships and mentorship programs. And you recently launched Boss Beauties with your non-fungible token collection. First, tell us your definition of a non-fungible token and then why you are moving into this space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It depends who I'm connecting with. Sometimes I'll use different examples to really put it into context. But never before in history have digital assets been able to be purchased and traded, like they are right now on the blockchain. You used to have physical merchandise, like one of these phone cases that we sold through My Social Canvas, and you could buy it, right? But now we're able to do that through NFTs, through digital assets. So we look at digital artwork, everything from music, things are being traded on the blockchain. And through that, with My Social Canvas, we've been in this space for 10 years, working to mentor and provide scholarships for young women and girls all over the world. And it's something we're so passionate about. During the pandemic, we started researching NFTs. I have to credit my husband, Anthony. He kind of dove into the world of NFTs, which is so fast moving. Cynthia, you'd agree, right? And being in the space. And we saw the opportunity to really get into the space and bring more women into the space, and also use it as a way to also fund scholarships, to be able to give out more scholarships and fund more mentorship programs and opportunities for women and girls. So we are so thrilled to be in this space, and we can't wait to bring more women alongside us and work with them to get them into the space as well.
Lisa, when we think about what it's made up of, I feel like, or it seems like, the digital art component has taken off largely because a lot of people, they may be stuck at home with a little bit more time, maybe a little bit more money on their hands, and they want to find a different kind of asset to put their money into. And so you were telling me earlier about those two major ways that motivate people and that people are getting into NFTs. Explain what those two ways are.
Yeah, so, it depends who I'm talking to. But, I was explaining this to my sister recently, and her husband is really involved in the stock market. He loves, trading and investing in stocks. And so that's actually one way people are getting into NFTs, and they're investing in NFTs and getting into the space. And they're thinking it a little bit like stocks, actually, getting in on a project. If it's a collectible project or even a one-for-one, and getting in and getting some NFTs in the form of digital artwork, but then being able to later resell them just like they might stocks, right? As an investment where they're able to make capital and make money on them. So it's a transfer of wealth really as well, which is really exciting, and why we want to bring more women into the space and diversify the space as well.
Absolutely. And so some of this NFT buzz has already given you guys quite a few eyes on you. Just to make note of this, Boss Beauty was in the New York, or still is in the New York Stock Exchange Art Hall. You're the first NFT to go there. And you were also on the NASDAQ screen in Times Square last month. And I just heard that Reese Witherspoon, who has a Boss Beauty NFT in her wallet, her company, Hello Sunshine, saw the collection in the New York Stock Exchange Hall. And so since you've accumulated such an amazing amount of buzz, what does it mean to you right now? What does all this mean at this moment and in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, we're seeing the traction and momentum we're getting, as well as other amazing projects in the NFT space. But what they don't always see is the work that we've all been doing behind the scenes for many years. I actually just saw Beeple talk a little bit about his amazing NFT that went for $69 million the other day. And he was even sharing this too, that he had been in this space creating for many years before that big moment. And that goes for us as well. We're so honored, by the way, that we were featured on the NASDAQ billboard for International Day of the Girl. We brought down some of the young women from our community that we've actually mentored and that have been a part of our mentorship program. And they got to actually see themselves up on the NASDAQ billboard for Day of the Girl. And, you know, even that seems like a small thing, but it really, you know, we wanted to celebrate them. And just make them be a part of it too. So that was an honor for us on Day of the Girl. And at the stock exchange, you know, this is the first NFT known to be at the New York Stock Exchange on display in their art hall. And the significance of that, I get the chills at it. So we were walking by yesterday to see that NFT, as you mentioned, Hello Sunshine. This incredible woman from their team was with us. And our NFT, our Boss Beauty, is on display across from the Muriel Siebert Boardroom, which honors the very first woman to ever have a seat on the New York Stock Exchange. So that in itself, it felt very significant. It felt really special. And I love that, you know, people that are going for their IPO, you know, CEOs, heads of state can walk by our Boss Beauty in that art hall. They're on the way to the big board art or the big boardroom, getting ready for the IPO, getting ready to ring the opening bell for the stock market. And they're up there and they see our Boss Beauty. So it's so significant to us and really such an honor as well.
And congratulations again for those three actually amazing things that have happened with Boss Beauty. And so I want to bring Cynthia into the conversation. Cynthia, this collection, it has a wide range of women. We see women of all shapes, colors, sizes, and I do mean colors because I see some women with pink and blue skin. But a lot of this, you guys have said it was intentional. And so I'm wondering, what's the message that you want your collection to say to the world?
Yeah, you know, thank you for that question. Representation is so important, especially in Web3. The Web2 before was male dominated, and women like myself, women of color, felt alienated and excluded from that. And we definitely don't want to continue that narrative into Web3 and into the decentralized world that we're building, the metaverse, as they say. So representation is super important to Lisa and to the Boss Beauties team, you know, as we were launching and thinking about not just ways we can make representation a big part of like the collectible series and how they look. Like we have hijabi women, we have women of color, like you said, literal purple and pink women, but we also have a really inclusive, loving, supportive community of empowered women from various different environments or, you know, like cultural backgrounds, ethnicities. So it's super important, and it goes beyond just the art as well.
I should note that there are also several different professions depicted in the illustrations. And Cynthia, I just want to ask you a quick follow-up question. You were saying earlier about how it's been received, how Boss Beauty has been received as something where representation is celebrated. So what have been some of the responses you've personally heard from supporters?
Yeah, well, I've had people tell me that their female bosses got into NFTs because of Boss Beauties, because they saw themselves as a CEO. I've had fathers come to me and tell me they've collected like 40 Boss Beauties for their children and for their nieces, because, I mean, there's like a mother, right? There's a caregiver one, and Lisa was really adamant about including that representation, because all women are important, all women are bosses, whether you're a CEO, executive, or you're a stay-at-home mom. So I've gotten a lot of like really beautiful, touching messages about people who've gifted this to their wives, their girlfriends, their grandparents, and that's kind of what we were wanting to do, right? Lisa, you could say, like, we really wanted to bring people who probably don't or probably aren't in Web2 yet, and give them a window into this space. So I think representation did a good job of doing that. And including different women from across different industries also helped.
And so you, Lisa, the company has also opted to help women-led NFT companies in the space as well. And so tell me how you did that at the start of Boss Beauties.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So leading up to the launch of Boss Beauties, we held a virtual summit where we brought together really incredible women role models from all different industries. We had the president of Vayner NFT. We had Rebecca Minkoff, who just launched an NFT collection as a fashion designer. But one of the women that we featured and spoke to is Ashley, who had taken over the Fame Lady Squad. And she had been in the NFT space. But earlier in the summer, actually, and it feels like so much longer ago, but when you're in this space, you know, everything happens so fast. So I feel as though I've known them for so long. But we connected over the summer and, you know, heard a little bit of their story. And they had actually taken over from the original creators of that project. You know, the original creators were actually two men, but they were promoting the project as if it was women-led. And so the creators of that project kept the funding, the two men that had started it. And we knew that her team, Ashley and the team, you know, they needed funding to get their project off the ground and to really give back to the community and provide value to the community. So we decided to, you know, give them 5% of a portion of our collection launch to help them get off the ground. And, you know, speaking firsthand, I know what it's like to build something as an entrepreneur with limited capital and resources, and how capital and resources matter, right? And being able to help you build out your vision. And so we decided to give a portion of our launch to their collection to essentially, you know, help them get started as entrepreneurs in their collection. And we also gave 5% into a scholarship fund, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But we can't wait to announce that as well.
Okay. Well, also this, you inspire young women to launch businesses. Entrepreneurship, it's a vitally important part of our economy. And so how are you doing that briefly, if you can?
Yeah, so during the pandemic, actually, Jody, who's on our team, she's amazing. We had launched a virtual social entrepreneurship internship and mentorship program. It was really a hybrid of a mentorship and an internship, you know, because college women needed to have something on their resumes. The pandemic, you know, forced many companies to actually cancel their internship programs, and, you know, students needed that opportunity, right? So we launched a virtual internship and mentorship program where we brought young women from all over the world, actually, in the US and 15 different countries, to be a part of our social entrepreneur program. We brought in role models and speakers from many incredible companies, from founders that had raised venture capital to VCs. Actually, we had a woman that works at the Founders Fund in Silicon Valley come to speak to our community and mentor them. We had other incredible women leaders come speak to them and talk to them about how to start a business, and in addition to that, how to get into tech and other industries. So through that, you know, we've taught them, and we're giving them that experience, practical experience, to learn about the industry and learn about business, so that someday they too can start their own company, or maybe they want to work at another startup and get that experience to get started. So, you know, we were so thrilled to do that. You know, I love when I hear from young women that have been a part of this, that they've then gotten their dream job in Silicon Valley, or gotten, you know, a job at another company, or started their own business. So that's a little bit of what we've been able to do.
All right. And we probably have about a minute left. I want to find out about the book club that you guys are launching. If you can tell me briefly, Cynthia, I know you're hoping to connect with activist and poet laureate Amanda Gorman as well. When will this project start, briefly?
Well, yeah, definitely. We'd love to connect with Amanda Gorman. And I mean, she's an exceptional example of the kind of person that I feel is really representative of what Boss Beauty stands for. She's brilliant, right? But also we're interested in connecting with authors who are like-minded as well, and, you know, poets across different genres, and not just Amanda Gorman, but fingers crossed on that one. Lisa, do you have anything to add about the book club?
Yeah, no, with the book club, we want to really be able to share stories of incredible thought leaders and authors in many different industries to really share their books and their stories with the world. So that's what we're looking to do.
Okay, great. And if I were to just ask really quick question to Cynthia, where do you see NFTs going next?
Well, that's a really big question. I feel right now they've taken over. It's a big question. They've taken over art. Art is an incredibly liquid market. It's, for hundreds, millions of years, maybe, elites and people who have been putting their capital into art. And so we've seen a very quick move of that with NFTs. I do think the space will explode a bit more. We're going to see more interactive NFTs, more gamified NFTs, and it's even going to go into real estate, tokenized events, ticketed events. So NFTs are really, really broad, and it's going to be insane.
And Lisa, if you could add just maybe one or two spaces you feel like it would grow into.
Yeah, no, I mean, a little bit of what Cynthia just said as far as, real estate, right? There's so much potential there, but I think really access to events and access, you look at what VFriends is going to do with VCon. We have certain events where we'll feature incredible women role models like Olympic athletes, CEOs, and through our NFTs, you'll be able to access those events too. Really, there's so much potential with NFTs that it can expand into any industry. And I can't wait to see what happens, right? We're along this journey and it's an exciting ride. So.
An exciting ride indeed. And ladies, I thank you so much for joining me. That's a great place to leave it.